Welcome to another episode of Hard Factor, presented by the Barstool News Network. It is Florida Man Friday, August 28th, 2020, also known as the Beef's birthday, August 28th. Happy birthday, Beef.
Yeah, happy birthday, Beef.
Happy birthday, Pat.
The year was 1968, and it was a hot day in August in Neptune, New Jersey, when my mother, one time early in her life, had experienced the Depression, was rushed to the hospital to give birth to me. So,
How old are you claiming to be?
He's leaning into it. He said 1968. That was dyslexia. It was 1986. I think he's leaning into it. Did you mean to do that? It was 1986.
2 years old.
Well, happy birthday, Beef.
Yeah, I'm not that dyslexic where I'd fuck up the year I was born, which I've
Are
altered
you
my
not?
birth certificate to say 85, but yes.
You're 85. Yeah.
Yeah, 85, sure. Yeah, your birthday brings good luck. Thank God Hurricane Laura, however she likes to go by, was not nearly as bad as advertised, so that's good.
I was up all night watching hurricane coverage.
Yeah, what ended up happening? I checked in a little bit, but...
I mean, it was a Category 4, but it hit... So we talked about how it, sped up to a Category 4. Well, it sped up really fast, and it slowed down really fast. When it hit the coast, it was like a 2, the brakes were on right away. But the good news was that the storm just kept moving. The clouds kept going north. So it slowed down, so it was just wind damage for the most part, not much of a storm surge, and then just boop kept going up the state.
It moved due north at 15 miles an hour, and it entered the land in a very unpopulated location. It was the
Cameron, Louisiana was
best possible outcome, and obviously not for Cameron, Louisiana, and some of those places it was a horrible outcome, but for the general populations in those areas, it was the least populated area to hit, and it went straight up north.
You love seeing a storm fail. Sorry, storms. Try to get some more stamina next time. Nice training in the offseason, you pieces of shit.
Lake Charles got smashed. Galveston and the Golden Triangle on the Texas border of Louisiana.
Totally fine.
They thought it was going to be horrible. They didn't even get much at all.
That's right, yeah. Well, Laura was no match for the Beef's birthday, so thank you.
That's right. Good job, Beef.
Sit down, Laura.
I'm Smashly.
And then we've got the RNC stuff coming up. Mark's gonna do that.
That's
but
right.
We're not doing it at the top. We feel like it's been a hectic week. Lots of heavy topics. So we're gonna soothe you into the weekend, into your Friday with some Florida Man headlines up first.
Let's have some laughs. Let's get some laughs.
Have a good time here. Friday, baby.
Let's get it going then. This first one from Anonymous Frank. Thank you, Frank. Love the name Frank. We're going to get into that, but first, we're going to give you an update. Not to worry, guys. You guys know who Lane Pittman is, the shirtless Florida man who battles hurricanes with his headbanging red hair, Slayer, American flag. Remember that guy?
Hurricane Wrangler, yeah.
Yeah, Hurricane Wrangler. He's back in action, and he took on Laura. Probably the one of the main reasons why Laura just didn't stand a chance is because Lane Pittman was there doing his thing, and Laura decided to get out of there as quickly as she could because Lane meant business. He put out some new artwork on Twitter. He's now at 10,000 followers on Twitter, and he might be sponsored by Waffle House too now. I'm not sure. But
we might have to team the Beef and Pittman up together.
Oh my God!
I love Waffle House, man. Smothered and covered? Come on.
Could a camera handle that?
Get me down there with Lane. Double bass
the lens
drum,
would
man.
break.
A hurricane certainly couldn't. That's for sure.
No.
Yeah. Talk about WAP.
Yeah, no shit. So he has a GoFundMe out. You can follow him on Twitter at thebigguy904. By the way,
What is he getting funded for? Just being awesome?
Well, he gets funded to go fight hurricanes. He goes and protests hurricanes.
Yeah, he protests hurricanes with an American flag in his hand.
Imagine trying to explain that to your parents. Now, what is
It's a cool job, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's a cool ass job.
Does he get FEMA money?
Nah,
If his house breaks,
Yeah.
Dude, he should
does FEMA just give him money to fly around? And
he should get an
He's got a
endorsement
stipend?
from FEMA.
Yeah.
He should be the official spokesperson of FEMA.
He should lobby Trump for that. To try to get it for this hurricane season, whichever president is in.
I hope that his dad is a meteorologist, and he's like, "You just don't understand, Dad." And he's like, "Lane, it doesn't work." He's like, "It doesn't, Dad?" Doesn't it?
He's
Punk
like, you
rock
help the people
meteorology.
your way, and I help them mine, Dad.
If he leans into this, a couple more hurricanes, he's going to be very famous.
Yeah.
If he stays
dies.
If he stays the course, till he gets a 2x4 to the till he gets a 2x4 to the head, yeah.
Until he's hit in the head with a flying brick.
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
man, no, it's those stop signs. I was watching coverage all night last night, and it was like
Or gutters off the side of a building. Yeah.
tin
Or
roof
tiles.
siding.
tin roof and stuff.
Anything
like,
that can
sheet
fly
metal.
off a house. Yeah.
Sword
yeah.
stores, too.
I'm waiting for a live cover, like a live meteorologist, just to get decapitated on one of these things. I'm like nervous. I'm like
Tree
Jesus.
branches. I mean, that's
Yeah.
probably the biggest odd, right?
Bullet
Is it like
factories.
yeah.
bullet factories. Yeah.
Yeah. I was saying to my wife last night, I don't know if you guys ever like sat out in a hurricane or like a really strong winds like that. So what they should do is just have because it's really hard to see because it's like just wind and rain whipping past the screen. They should put one like a wide on trees because like you can always see the moonlight or whatever, or the ambient light, and then the darkness of the trees, and then you can see how fast the trees are waving. I always thought that.
I've
That's
seen
nice.
one in person when I was a kid in New Jersey. I was living on the Jersey Shore, and I saw one, and I knew it was bad when I saw my clubhouse, which is a pretty decent clubhouse, dancing across the yard before slamming into a tree. And I was like, am I going to
trees
school
will
today, Mom?
bend right over.
Yeah. One summer in between college, PFT. Myself and like 4 others lived at the beach all summer, and there was a hurricane in North Carolina in Kill Devil Hills, and we went out. We were like walking distance to the beach where we lived, so we went out during the hurricane, and it was zero visibility because the sand was just like flying really fast. You couldn't see it, and we just were getting hit by like a billion little pinpricks from the sand, and we just
That would hurt.
we just took it, and then we went out in the water, and people were like, you probably shouldn't do this, and we're like, yeah, fuck you.
Were you guys
drunk and
listening to
we're 19.
Darude Sandstorm while you were doing
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Anyway, Lane's back doing his thing. He's also got a GoFundMe page. I don't have the link, but you can find it for Laura relief.
In case you want to fund his hurricane fighting lifestyle.
I don't know if he's actually using it for Laura relief or to fight the next hurricane. But we're gonna try to get him on the show. If you know him, have him get in touch with us because we'd like to talk to him.
But first, give to the people of Cameron, Louisiana, then Lane.
Right.
Priorities.
Just get us in touch with Lane and donate to however you feel.
Why don't
There
we
you go.
get in touch? Why don't we have Lane tell you what he thinks you should do?
There you go.
donation-wise.
There you go.
In the meantime, donate to Cameron. But
He's
yeah.
a frontliner. You're right.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to the real story. I just want to give you an update on Lane from Anonymous Frank. Guys, when someone farts a lot and it's really foul and offensive each and every time, it can really test your patience, especially if you live with that person in close quarters. It's like living with Pat or PFT. No consideration for others, no decency, just fuck you farts all day long. And apparently that kind of behavior was too much for 40-year-old Largo, Florida woman Nicole Dozois, who physically attacked her father, who she lived with, because the man was attempting to get his 40-year-old daughter the fuck out of his house by way of farting her out.
Well,
Yeah.
what a pussy, honestly, this guy. He's dealing with his 40-year-old daughter by farting on her. I mean, that's why she's not out of the house.
No,
That's on him, isn't it? A little bit of that's on him. Yeah.
I think that he was reduced to this measure. I'm sure he tried a number of things.
Right. I'm sure that it was just terrible her raising him as his daughter.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, she's 40. She's still in the house. You gotta resort to unorthodox methods to get her out. She hasn't.
That's what I'm saying.
yet.
But there's a reason she's 40 and she's in the house. And
There's no way this
and
guy
he-
owns a single pair of khaki or gray or black pants. It's all sweatpants for this guy.
yeah.
he never
keeps doing the pull my finger, and she
Yeah.
keeps falling for it.
Yeah, he keeps loosening the stretchy band on his sweatpants, and just some stink comes out.
Yeah.
Just dropping things.
It's
he could have done something before she got 40, and that something could have been more than him just farting on her.
True.
right. Yeah,
to
could have been a
change
better.
this.
Could have been a better dad. I don't know. I don't really know the whole situation. but
Probably.
yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a guess.
Anyway, so he relentlessly farted around her until she lost it, leaving him with a bloody left eye and scratches all over her neck and his neck. And if there was 60 seconds I would have liked to witness from these Florida stories, I guarantee you it's like the time that she dared him to fart one more time, and then like him giving her the middle finger, and then letting one rip, and then the attack, and then him calling the cops and be like, y'all need to get down here again.
And then she was on him like a stray cat.
I just dropped a photo of Nicole there. If you by looking at Nicole, you don't want to smell her dad's farts. If you know what I mean. Like when you take a look at Nicole.
If the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
She's 40. She looks like she's 63.
Oh.
Right, that's an old 40.
Man.
That's what constant farts will do to you.
Right? Whatever else they're doing in there.
Yeah.
They're codependent.
It's not like the only gas that's being inhaled.
Right.
No.
Anyway, she was charged with domestic battery, and the house was probably repossessed.
She's up. Oh, yeah? I'm about to fumigate it.
At least it dealt with the inevitable roach problem.
Yeah. It's terrible.
It's bad.
All right.
He built a tent around the house.
Fumigates it. He calls himself the fumigator.
Just walking in and seeing him eating a meal of like dairy and beans, knowing what's coming.
Oh,
later on that
I'm gonna fart on you so much tonight.
I feel bad for her. She doesn't look 40.
He's farting her in the
She looks
direction
55.
of the classified ads.
He's got to look rough too. All right.
Yeah.
Who's up next?
That was a feel-good one. I thought that was a good feel-good, soothe you into the weekend style.
Yeah.
All right. Just like this one. This one's actually happy, though. It's going to make you feel real good, because it's about edibles. Coming in from notable cannabis connoisseur, Mark's wife, a Florida woman herself.
That's right.
The Sunshine State has approved edibles for medical marijuana production and distribution, effective immediately, right away. The new rules published this week by the Florida Department of Health Office of Medical Marijuana Use, and they were released on Wednesday, give the state's medical marijuana industry permission to sell products, and I guess, obviously produce them in the state as well. Licensed dispensaries can produce the THC-infused edibles like brownies and candy, and it's limited to lozenges, baked goods, gelatins, chocolates, or drink powders. So
What else do you need?
Good.
Step.
What else do you need?
Exactly. Sounds good. What else? Yeah. Sounds good.
The one issue there, gelatins does work. So candies that bear resemblance to any other candy that's commercially available will not be permitted. So like you can't make gummy bears, but you can make like a gummy square.
Okay.
Yeah. And the state said that edibles shall also be produced in a manner to minimize color intensity and other visual characteristics that may attract children. So
Every state should have this. That's fine. This is good. Every state should have this. That's fine.
It's just that, like you have to it kind of like limits though. Because it's like
You can't get your hot pink gummies. Your
You
gummy
need
bears.
your gummy bears.
I would want it
you
to
can't-
look cool. Like you should make it look like
Wow.
like a big weed leaf. Like it should have like a cool design. You can't do it though in any state because it's got to be like a square that says like THC.
Well, because
warning,
the
biohazard on it.
distribution. Yeah. They're worried it'll distribute.
Yeah. So even
inaccurately.
down to like the piece, you got to do it. But to me, it would be cool. If you
Molds
could
of
have-
wrestlers' faces would be dope.
Yeah, exactly. Like a Macho Man edible.
yeah.
That would be
Papa
fucking
Hulk.
incredible. Right? Yeah. So
Small concessions to get what you want. This is-
Yeah, I get it.
You could play games with it. You could pop the Undertaker and do the sit-up motion after
get
you
it.
take it.
This is
I'm
better
back.
than nothing. Exactly. See, and then what if you had that? That'd be cool. But this is
Or
better
but
than
you
nothing.
could
You're right, Wes.
you could do like gelatin molds in like the Golden Girls. Like that's not going to be kids, but that's still fun. Kids aren't going to be attracted to that.
Yeah, but it's anything that's even like remotely attractive. They'll ban you for.
Bro, pass me one of those B. Arthurs.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be like, nope, that looks too cool. So the rules take effect immediately, like I was saying, because obviously they do, because people love weed and money, and they always have, they always will. Taking it to the internet, P-Fits from the Hardo Hive says, he sent in a article about a letter from over 50 current and former law enforcement professionals urging Congress to take swift action on legislation introduced last year. It seeks to decriminalize marijuana and expunge past convictions federally. The bill is H.R. 3884. It probably will not pass this year, but They should just do one better and just make it legal for the cops. Just get it off the list altogether. That'd be easier.
Someone should do a study about how much money we'll save if we just freed all the people who are in jail for marijuana convictions. I bet it'd be a ton of cash.
That's part of it. It's because it would allow them. Basically, the letter is stating that it would allow police departments to better allocate money because you wouldn't have to be planning for all these like low level offenders and stuff.
The problem with all these studies, that we're talking about and like the statistics of saving money is like the person that's going to come up with it is probably a weed lover. So are you going to really trust that? Are they going to really follow through with it?
Well, this is 50 current and former pros. So,
I don't know. I mean, I probably wouldn't trust their report, to be honest with you. But
literally everyone in my life is a weed lover.
Bill Barr. Bill Barr.
No, I mean I'm pro legalization. I'm just I just say a lot of money. I'm not going to believe their exact number.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. Well, guys, on the tip of law enforcement, let's check in with our boy Grady Judd down there in Florida. This one's from intern Patricia at Ideal Patricia. America's sheriff, boys. Grady Judd and the overlord of Polk County is at it again. And you guys may remember Grady Judd from his...
every Friday.
Yeah, every Friday he gives a speech pretty much being like, don't you fuck around in Polk County or you're going to die. Now, whether or not things have really escalated ever in Polk County, we don't know. But we do know
they
that...
have, because his county is always on the show.
There was
it could be
there was a white guy that lived in a trailer park that shot and killed 3 other white guys that he went to school with, and that had his white brother and white girlfriend help clean the bodies up, and they went to McDonald's and bought $100 worth of McDonald's. Remember that massacre we covered a couple?
Yes, but that's not what Judd is talking about. Judd is talking about an impending invasion of potential looters and rioters.
But he had a 270 felon. The guy had 270 felonies, and he was shooting people. Okay,
pretty impressive.
I was just throwing that out there. He had that.
Guys, Grady Judd has a message for any of you out there that are thinking about coming to Polk County and messing on around. I'm going to play you the clip here, guys.
But you can play it? You're allowed to play it? It's not too...
No,
do anything in social media.
He's like,
but we have received information in social media that some of the criminals were going to take their criminal conduct into the neighborhoods. I would tell them, if you value your life, you probably shouldn't do that in Polk County, because the people of Polk County like guns. They have guns. I encourage them to own guns, and they're going to be in their homes tonight with their guns loaded. And if you try to break into their homes to steal, to set fires, I'm highly recommending they blow you back out of the house with their guns. So leave the community alone.
Yeah, he did this after the George Floyd thing.
Yeah, he did the same speech.
I don't understand it. Like Pat's saying, like he thinks it's like a zombie apocalypse. Like if there's a protest in Wisconsin, it means that
they're coming for you, Grady.
That night they're coming for Polk County. What is he talking about?
Yeah, well, Grady Judd hasn't put 2 and 2 together. That the protests usually follow
the same speech
shootings.
that he gave last time. Yeah.
He gets them amped up, though.
He's so concerned. I mean, look, I'm happy Polk County's, armed and protected.
Well, it's weird to me. He gave the exact same.
Why does he think it's? Why does he think it's going to happen there like all the time?
He's just trying to. It's preemptive, bro.
Right.
But why do you give literally the same?
Because
I remember the last
it.
time.
Yeah, people loved it.
They do love it in Polk County.
It's like play the hits. It's like Freebird.
Yes.
They just want him to get up there and say it.
I imagine it's, it goes along with the signs he puts up, like, you're now entering Polk County, we will blow you away. And some people are like, oh, this place sounds awesome. Sounds like fun.
He's creating Friday night plans for them. Because, he is. Yeah, they're just sitting
Clean
watching
the guns,
their doors.
Load the guns, sit in front of the door with the guns.
Guys, so on the converse, while we're on the subject of sheriffs, I want to play you guys Sheriff David Beth of Kenosha County. We saw him yesterday do a press conference on the Wisconsin stuff. Here's a clip from him in 2018 that I thought was a little bit interesting.
I think society has to come to a threshold where there's some people that aren't worth saving. We need to build warehouses to put these people into it and lock them away for the rest of their lives. Let's put them in jail. Let's stop them from truly, at least some of these males going out and getting 10 other women pregnant and having small children. Let's put them away. At some point, we have to stop being politically correct. And I don't care what race, I don't care how old they are. If there's a threshold that they cross, these people have to be warehoused. No recreational time in the jails. We put them away. We put them away for the rest of their lives so that the rest of us can be better.
Why does he just say, I mean, it's just prison.
Well, I know, but what is the threshold?
I think he's talking about like the loony bin, like the home, like they used to have, like, you know, you like Shutter Island. Like, that's the warehouse. I think he's like talking.
The warehouse is definitely different than the prison, Wes.
You think?
We got a warehouse.
Oh yeah. You gotta get warehoused.
And he said there's no chance of getting out of it, so it's like a one-way ticket to the warehouse.
It's a Roach Motel.
Sheriff Beth had a
You
bad
can
day.
check
that
in,
day.
but you can't check out.
I think I know what race he was talking about that day.
He said any race, any age that fucks up enough.
Yeah, what's
Anybody's
that
getting
crosses the warehouse threshold.
Yeah. Go out there and get 10 women pregnant and have all these little
Jesus, yeah.
junior
You know
criminals
what that
running
is?
around.
You know what he is? He's G. That's the G plan. He's the black bagger. He doesn't want you having too many kids. He'll black bag you. He'll warehouse you forever.
Well, it's really just extreme
Cut your nuts
troublemakers. He's like the entire community in a hot fuzz. They just want to have like a perfect community, and if you jaywalk, they like literally kill you. Like in the movie Hot Fuzz, they killed all the jugglers, they killed all the jaywalkers, and like the loiterers, like just to have a good town image.
Yeah. Emperor G and Sheriff David Beth over there. It was
David Beth's
take your
probably
head off
regretting that speech surfacing. But, you know. Anyway, that's what's going on with the law enforcement and our boy Sheriff Grady Judd. But hey, guys, seriously, do not fuck around in Polk County tonight.
No.
Don't do it.
He'll give the speech again. Watch out.
Kids are gonna be like garage hopping and getting their heads blown off in Polk County.
Yeah, you don't want to. That's the bad part, right? It's like you don't want to fuck around and be like a little shit in a place where people are sitting waiting for people to come on their property.
Can't play flashlight tag in Polk County.
No way. No way, dude. No
Kick
way.
the can. More like kick the bucket.
I'll tell you what. I've said this once and I've said it again. When you go from not owning a gun to owning a gun, immediately your perception to things that might be noises outside of your house change immediately. Like, I'll tell you that. Like, before you have a gun, you hear a noise, like, that's probably nothing. When you have a gun, you hear a noise, you're like, I wonder what that is. Should I go for the gun?
Tonight's your night, Betsy.
Yeah, and Judd's just up in that. He's just up in that natural feeling you have. Anyway,
that's all. I mean, they love him in Polk County.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's really exciting. They got the cleanest guns in the country.
Good shot. Yeah.
Oh, you got. I mean, well, hey, I do like how he's promoting like regular use. You know, you got to keep those things cleaned, oiled. That's the safest way. And so, I mean, like you got. If you're gonna use one, you got to practice with it. But
nothing's backfiring.
I don't know about like priming people up to just sit there waiting for somebody to come on their property. That seems quite maybe
it's gonna be a lot of easy chairs dragged in front of the door.
Do you
hallway.
imagine Grady Judd gets off a long shift and just opens a can of Bush's beans and eats it out of the can and just sets up shop in front of his door?
just loads a shotgun.
Yeah.
One shell.
Honey, honey, you know not to bother me when I'm on shift here.
There's going to be so many groups of drunk dudes just leading each other on false noises throughout the night.
I want to interview Grady Judd. I want to interview Grady Judd so bad.
Oh, communicating on their CB radios?
Yeah.
I think I heard a noise.
All right, guys.
That was just me firing at a noise that turned out to be nothing.
Yeah. You guys believe in witches, witchcraft, spells, potions, any of that bullshit?
No, of course not.
Well, like, what do you mean believe in it?
You believe? Do you think it's possible that there are witches?
No, of course not.
Spells, potions.
Yeah.
I mean, I have an open mind to it.
Oh yeah.
No.
Okay, go on.
You want to elaborate?
Yeah, just spirituality in general. I have an open mind to all of it.
Do you think think it's more of like a healing thing, or do you think you can cast a spell like
evil spells?
Spells. I'm intrigued by.
Are you talking like astrology, or are you talking about like a wand and a broomstick?
I'm talking about probably somebody who's like doing something with a book, and then there's some sort of ingredients.
Like a voodoo doll.
Yeah.
You were from
but like you know.
I'm glad you're not closing the door on
like
it, Will.
curses. You believe in curses? You can put
Well,
a curse
I'm just
on.
saying, like, if you just
I'm pretty
close the
sure
door
if Will believes in
forever,
witches, he believes in curses. Yes.
Yeah.
if you
Go
close
ahead
the
and
door
answer for
forever,
him.
you'd never be open to it at all.
That's true. I like to keep an open mind. Yeah. You know what? Go on, Wes. Witches.
Okay, sure. 40-year-old Michael Castillo Carvajal of Port St. Lucie, sure as shit does. He's with Will, which is why he tried to break a spell he thought was cast on him by killing the spell's caster, a woman he believed to be a real-life witch.
Oh.
Yeah. Apparently, one of the victims went to go to a home to pick up a friend where they were practicing a Santeria religious ceremony, which is an African
we covered that before. Yeah.
It was like developed in Cuba anyway. It sounds interesting. Mixed between like some African religion and Catholicism. Only problem is,
Yeah, like getting like a circle. Some of those get intense. You can Wikipedia like they're
was that the one with the girl that was there at the
and like the kid playing Xbox in his mom's house. He got bit by like his mom's boyfriend.
That's what I
like,
meant. Yeah.
Yep.
The only problem is the woman picking up her friend knew that the nutjob Carvajal would be there and that he thought she was a witch. So when her and her friend were in a car about to leave the scene, all of a sudden Carvajal's Chrysler came hauling ass, blocked them in, and that's when Carvajal got out and shot into the car once because you have to shoot a witch and kill her with the first shot, otherwise it doesn't work.
You gotta run. You gotta shoot and then run.
You can't let her see you. You can't let her look you in the eye.
Exactly. Turned to stone, something like that. He got arrested and charged with trying to kill a human being with a deadly weapon and intent to kill.
Oh, he missed?
Look.
He missed, yeah.
Come on, man. Like sometimes you wonder, right? Things happen to you and you just wonder, well, could it be something a little bit more? Like I was thinking the other day.
Sure.
So time out. Okay,
Did
what?
Let Will finish. I want to hear about
what spell do you have on you, Will?
No. I mean, I'm saying I could relate to the guy. He shouldn't have tried to kill the person who thought cast spell, but this is something I actually thought the other day is that what if the pain in my shoulder that I got when I was working out was actually released by a government chip and they were just trying to convince me that I was weaker than I am.
Okay, but that's not a witch. That's weird. That's very weird.
Well, that's like
what I'm saying is then you don't always know where things come from. You can't.
You got to keep an open mind. There's a lot of things we know. Do you think this guy told the detectives in an interrogating room that she was a witch?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Do you think they kept a straight face?
No, not a chance.
They're like, well, you shouldn't have missed, but now you're in big trouble. There's not much we can do to protect you.
This lady was in his life. He had no control over that.
They play along with it. They're like, "Oh shit, is she coming here?"
Yeah, they start doing weird shit to him.
Yeah, they flicker the lights.
Start pouring salt around in a circle on the floor.
Yeah, they're walking backwards. I can't. I'm trying to walk forwards.
No, we're dropping charges. You can go. You should just go. You should just get out. Get out.
What an idiot.
Yeah, so he's in jail.
Yeah, he is.
But hey, you know what's better than getting a spell cast on you by a Florida witch? That's right, winning money with PredictIt, the best place to bet on politics. Go to predictit.org.
I was going to say not much.
Yeah, not much. /hardfactor20 to get $20 on us. Start winning today. Best thing, never locked into a bet like sports betting. Get in, out, whenever you want. Let's look at the market in North Carolina. They have voted Republican every presidential election since 1980, except for 2008, which means they voted Obama in, but were sick of him by 2012 and voted for Mitt Romney. Right now, PredictIt, you can get in on Republicans winning at just 57 cents in North Carolina. So lots of meat left on that steak. The polls say they are tied. History says it's an R lock, but 2020 is crazy. My money is going R. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's some of these states, and this one and Ohio, I feel like are probably two that you can start to sort of shift more towards the R category column. North Carolina and Ohio, but then I think they're all going to start snapping in.
North Carolina definitely going red.
Yeah. 57 cents. I mean, that's a great deal right now. So yeah, predicted.org/promo/hard factor 20. Yeah.
People are worried about North Carolina probably because of how solidly blue Virginia's turned. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lock too for blue.
Yeah.
In Virginia, but no, I think North Carolina's red. Arizona's an interesting one. It was red, I think, last election, but I think it's flipped blue in the polls, and the McCains obviously have gone against Trump and endorsed.
They vote for Southern Democrats only in Arizona, basically.
Arizona is a blue one, I think, which is interesting because it was red last time, I think.
They predominantly go red, but they will vote for a Southern-born Democrat in the presidency. Like, they voted for Clinton and someone else, I forget.
A lot of people are saying that live in Arizona, it's going blue.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I don't.
The states are my favorite to bet.
I don't think Trump's got much going on. Certainly west of Texas for the most part.
It's kind of like March Madness, right? Where you can bet on like when the election happens, there's 50 states, so you can bet on like 12 of them. You can bet on a bunch of them and just watch the chips come in. You lose a few, you win a bunch.
Oh yeah, and the picks we've been giving out on this. If you've been following them, you're already getting paid back because I know that by the time we'd already put Texas and Iowa, Minnesota's, I think we went blue. We did a couple of blue locks too, and I know that they've all been appreciating. So
yeah. Oh yes. So go to predicted.org/promo/hard factor 20. It is fun as fuck. We don't just talk about it. We live it. We give it a shot. We're giving you a free $20 to play with to get to know the site before the real action, like Mark says, before basically, November madness hits. You literally have nothing to lose. If you don't like it, take your 20 and run, but we think you will really like it. So seriously, give it a shot. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it now. All right, let's move it on to Immokalee, Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Sounds Indian.
There's no chance that's it, but sure.
Immokalee,
Florida.
I'm Moke Ali.
One of those three, Florida, last Thursday night. We're two Florida men. We're just chilling in a backyard, having a good time, probably telling tales of strippers and lewds, when all of a sudden they heard a loud crash on the other side of the house. And what could it be? So they, meandered over to the other side, have a look, and they find 18-year-old Silverio Sanchez Ramirez trying to rip the door and handle off one of the locked trucks in the yard. And then when
there's no way his name is Silverio.
And when Silverio spotted them,
what did you say first?
It's like Silverlario.
What was the first one? Silver Larry?
It's like Silvio or like.
We used to call him Larry. Now he's older.
Like a Mexican truck Larry. Brand.
I had an extra L, I think. Silverio. When Silverio spotted them, they rolled up on him. Silverio's trying to rip the door off. They spot him, and then he, I guess he freaks out, so he starts ripping the windshield wipers off the truck and punching the windshield, the front of it, like a territorial display, like an animal. Just in the Florida wilds.
Good luck wiping these down with no wipers.
Yeah.
You ever seen a man punch like this into your car? No.
You haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, in your completely fenced-in backyard that I jumped inside of to try to steal your truck. Then Silverio slipped away into the bushes about 20 feet away from the truck. But like I was saying, the entire yard was fenced in. So he was trying to steal a truck inside a fenced-in yard with people in it. And then after a short regroup and a search of the yard, one of the men found Silverio and spooked him into jumping over the fence. But that man also followed him into the next yard. But this time, after the short break, he brought his tiny net with him that he cast. He tossed it out, cast it over the top of Silverio, and then he trapped him inside the net. And then he held him down in the neighbor's yard until the cops arrived. So
I fucking love this. He netted him. He got him with a net, dude, this needs to happen more often. It's non-lethal. It's effective. We need to get nets out there.
Have you ever been netted?
I've never been. I've wanted to. I've tried to commit crimes in fishing communities just so I could. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's so effective. It's illegal to use in fishing. Right. A lot of fishing. Like it's been outlawed. Like
I would say the top two effective ways to get someone without like a gun would be a net or quicksand.
Or a spear.
Quicksand's not super portable though, Mark.
No, the net's easier. Yeah. So I'm saying that's number one.
Sword would do pretty well too.
No, that would kill.
I'll take a net. I'll take a net over a sword any day.
Well, he said gun was number one, so
I'm going with taser.
Death's on the table here. Oh, wait, we're saying non-lethal.
Yeah, non-lethal.
No, well, or it's like if you're a gladiator and you get like one weapon, like the guy that has the net and the trident always wins in a gladiator battle because he just gets you in a net and then he pulls you in and then tridents you in the stomach.
See, that's different because then I could say that's killing though.
Right. Well, the net is gonna trap the person. Then you can do whatever you want with the person. But the net is just incapacitates you immediately.
Lasso. It's like a lasso with training wheels on it. The net is. You're gonna hit your target pretty often. Where a lasso is really hard.
Well, it's like a lasso on cocaine or crack because the lasso like just you have them by the waist, but they can flail around. The net they can't move any limb.
Yeah, I thought the foam shotgun shells were pretty hilarious.
Yeah, you can also hoist them if you get them by a net. You can hoist them up and like,
you can do whatever you want with them.
And like keep them, on a tree or something.
That's right.
Like Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. True. Very effective weapon indeed. Too good for Silverio, and he is now facing multiple charges.
It's no shame in getting bested by a net, Silverio. All right, guys, we're going to take it to the RNC, but this is sponsored by Daddy. Infertility is a huge problem for guys, and things don't get better as we age, really at all for guys. Women are like fine wine. They reach their sexual peak when they're older. All sorts. Not great for guys. We peaked when we were like 18 and stuff like that. Just worse and worse and worse. Daddy, spelled D-A-D-I, their mission is to make the process of fertility testing and sperm banking as comfortable, convenient, and cost-effective as possible. No more visits to the sperm bank and masturbating in awkward rooms. I hope none of you have had to do that. Daddy has developed an at-home sperm collection kit allowing you to test and store your sperm from the comfort of your own home. Thanks, Daddy. Daddy takes your sperm, tests it, and stores it for you so you don't have to worry about a thing and never have to leave your home. These services at sperm banks usually cost upwards of multiple thousands of dollars. Daddy provides an at-home collection kit, which looks like it's from the future, a lab-tested fertility report, and a year of sperm storage, all for $199. And we're going to kick $50 off that. We're providing a special limited time offer to the Barstool community, the Hard Factor community. $50 off your first purchase. Go to daddykit.com to order your first kit. Enter promo code FACTOR50, one word, all caps, FACTOR50 during checkout. And then it's $149
Mark, you're telling me this thing is 10 times more convenient and cheaper,
10 times the price.
And you don't even have to get your insurance involved. I mean, this is just absolutely incredible.
You don't have to drive to a place you don't want to go to and wait in line and then feel disgusting and then do a disgusting thing and then, you're right. Well, everything you said.
What a deal.
Okay. All right, guys, as promised, let's get to the RNC recap. Quick caveat, similar to the DNC, I didn't watch much of this live. I'm assuming you guys didn't either, as we write, record, and edit our 2 daily shows in the afternoons and evenings. So I watched a lot of this, but I did it on YouTube after the fact. And like the DNC, we didn't get to see the big dog speak as we recorded before Trump's speech Thursday night. We were recording right before it. So at the end, we're going to play a little game of hypothesis of how that speech went. But let's cover days 1 through 3. So day 1. The headliners Monday night included South Carolina Senator Tim Scott and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, who is also a former South Carolina state rep. So between them and Jim Clyburn, who gave Biden the primary and basically, just gave him the primary when he endorsed him in South Carolina, South Carolina's having a big go of it in 2020. I didn't realize how influential
Lindsey Graham, too.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham. Yeah, South Carolina, man. Woo. All right, so I thought Nikki Haley and Tim Scott both did a good job, particularly when Haley was talking about unity and working together across the aisle and saying, like one side, the other side's like, anti-us and blah, 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 but we should work together. I like that part of it. And I think one or both of these people, Nikki Haley and Tim Scott, will be on a ticket soon for the Republican Party.
That's the favorite, I believe, for the 2024 Republican ticket is Haley Scott.
Both of them? Yeah. I would
Haley as the president, Scott as the VP.
Yeah, they're both they have a bright future in the Republican Party for sure. Did you guys have any thoughts on those headliners on Monday?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that I agree with you. I mean, I think that Scott in particular has been a guy who's received a lot of criticism, even though I feel like he's tried to, do the best he can this year, especially with the police bill. I mean, he was the one that put forward the Republican side that got then completely ignored, and that stalemated. But he did try.
He did mention that in the speech that he's claiming that his side of Congress has been trying.
Well, yeah, I mean he did, and then Schumer and Harris and Booker, the leaders on the Dem side in the Senate said, no, we don't want to work with your bill. We want to work with the House Dems bill, and that stalemated it. But yeah, I mean I thought that he's been somebody who's deserves to get some time to talk this year. So I'm glad.
Yeah, my only criticism is she used the term socialist left, which is again socialism and democratic socialism, two very different things. It pisses me off when leaders use that term like the left who embrace democratic socialism, which isn't really Joe Biden a moderate. It pisses me off when they throw the socialism term because I think it's just trying to rile up the base.
I agree with you, Pat. That is. They did that a lot at the RNC. Like it seemed like the DNC's main thing was blaming specifically Donald Trump and Republicans for coronavirus deaths.
Yeah.
And now the RNC basically blamed the DNC for rioting, or the Democrats for rioting, and threatened that they would only get worse because they want socialism. They said that
and defunding the police.
Right. Well, that's a part of it. Like that you're going to a socialism. Not democratic socialism, but a socialist world if you go down there. So that was like their attack on
those are
the
the main tacks they're taking on their propaganda.
Also on day one was Donald Trump Jr., multiple-time guest of Hard Factor, and his current girlfriend, Kimberly Guilfoyle, who both got pretty intense, specifically Kimberly, who was literally screaming at the top of her lungs. People get on me for yelling on the show. That was yelling.
What was that? It was pre-recorded.
Yeah, that was crazy, huh? So much so that cocaine hashtag started trending immediately and went into the next day because they're like, no one not on cocaine would scream that much. The
fact it was pre-recorded was mind-boggling. That was like the AOC thing, It's like it was just like what? Like why did you air it if it was pre-recorded?
Like she must have been hoarse the next day. It was screaming at the top of your lungs.
I loved the meme though because she literally is an embodiment of Rita, the bad guy from Power Rangers. Like it's very similar. Her energy is very similar to the dubbed
big
English
horns,
version.
The
Asian chick.
Out. Yeah, the Asian chick, yeah. Vernon Jones, a Democratic state representative from Georgia, also spoke on day one. And, of course, Mark and Patricia McCloskey, the St. Louis couple who pointed guns at protesters outside their mansion and became an instant meme.
Talk about riling up the base. That's
right.
Just like...
They were dressed up nicely.
May as well have Charlton Heston.
They were on their stand your ground kick.
The DTJ speech, though, I mean, haven't had him on the show twice, like knowing his dynamic, like and his energy, and then seeing him give that speech was frustrating because clearly someone wrote it for him.
Everybody on every.
I agree, but it was a completely different energy than he pushes normally, and he was fighting the culture war. There was like, you're not going to be able to, you can't go to church. They're going to be able to essentially, they're taking away your ability to be a Christian, which is.
But those are effective arguments when protests
I think they're
are
lightning
allowed
rod
and
arguments.
church is not.
Pat, at the DNCs and RNCs, they're very similar. They're scripted by. They're all scripted out well in advance.
Speech writers,
that's how it is. Like
I saw the difference.
Teleprompter city.
They decide this person's going to be best to give this message. This person's going to be best to give that message.
I took Trump's speech as this is war, and I took a lot of the DNC speeches as we're going to have a serious problem if this continues. It was like,
their thing is this is a battle for the soul of our nation, and we are the light and they are the dark. That's the DNC's.
Which is
they're both similar in that.
Which is different than the DNC, which condemned one candidate, not an entire party. Where the RNC is making
in general
they're trying to
good versus evil.
Yeah, but the whole party of Democrats to say they're evil is divisive.
Yeah, but I also saw more RNC talking about reaching across the aisle and working with them. So it was both.
Some of them did. Yeah, you're right.
It was both at the RNC. And also the game plan's a little different because the RNC is the incumbent to presidency and they are scared they're going to get the Senate flipped and the Democrats know they're going to win the House and they think they can flip the Senate. So the Republicans are going against everyone, whereas the Democrats are confident in the Congress, both parties, and they want the presidency. So that's a little bit different of a strategy too. Day 2 was the weakest lineup to me, at least. I thought so, and at least memorable as well. So I'm going to try to fly through it.
That was the Eric day, right?
Eric Trump and Tiffany Trump.
Yep.
Day 2 brought us also Nick, I Own You, CNN Sandman. He did a short speech saying he stood up to the media, and it wasn't that bad, for a 17 or 18-year-old kid, whatever he is. I thought he did well enough for himself, but I did notice the Sandman should take some of that CNN money he won in a defamation lawsuit and get some braces.
Yeah. Why is he there in the first place? The McCluskeys and Sandman, just get them the fuck out of here. Like, they shouldn't be here. They're distractions and they're fucking ridiculous. Just they shouldn't be speaking on behalf of political parties.
It's a symbol to say we're not going to let the cancel mob run over you. That's what.
Right.
That's what.
Yeah, but
that's why they
two
have
of them committed a fucking crime, which is the McCluskey.
Sandman
maybe.
But they were there to say that that the other people should have been charged with a crime. That was the whole point. They were there, and that we were. That was their speech. Sandman sounds like he was born with 3 tongues. By the way, Trump also popped in twice on Tuesday. Once to grant a bank robber a full pardon, and he hosted a naturalization ceremony too to make people U.S. citizens.
Right? Because that's way in line with his rhetoric thus far.
The
naturalization ceremony blew me the fuck away. I was like, "Come on, dude, come on."
Did the bank robber kill anyone, or was it just a bank robbery? Because I don't know. I didn't research that enough. But Trump loves granting pardons, and really, who doesn't love a good pardoning story?
Especially on camera, yeah.
Right, and if that guy didn't hurt anyone and just robbed the bank, who cares about the fucking bank? Good for that guy for getting pardoned. Melania Trump also did a speech. Was it at the New Rose Garden? I don't know. She has too striking.
It was outside, right?
It was, outside. She's too striking to me. She reminds me of like a 1970s movie star.
Yeah.
She was wearing that really like fancy jacket. She looked like a fashion model.
I think it's just intimidating.
Striking.
Everybody's just like,
I can't listen to her. And so I don't know. I don't really know what she said because I was just like shocked at how striking she looks.
Well, it's like watching
in a good way. She's beautiful. But
it's like watching like an 80s Arnold movie or something.
My bad.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. She's got this like old school vibe to her. Our intern Patricia was like, she should be fashion modeling, and I agree. I mean, like, it's not really
because she was
beneficial to her. Maybe
she was a model, right?
Yeah, she was a model, and she also was potentially, she was. There's a reason that she's from what Slovenia or Austria?
Slovenia, I believe.
There's a reason her and Donald met, and it wasn't because they had mutual friends.
Slovenia. They do this dance in the World Cup where they're screwing in a light bulb.
What does Big Ern say? It's a really small world when you've got a pair of incredible tits.
Big Ern McCracken.
Mike Pompeo talked. Eric Trump and Tiffany spoke. But it wasn't not a lot of like moments in day 2. It was just a lot of play the hits on the Republican side, like anti-criminal immigrants, anti-abortion. Not a lot of huge moments. Day 3. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany.
She made a big stir. Both of those ladies. Yeah.
Well, former ambassador and head of the DNI Hard Factor interviewee Richard Grinnell, Kellyanne Conway, and Vice President Mike Pence were all some of those speakers on day 3. Big names there.
Wednesday was the day. I forgot that was all day 3.
The McEnany was she was positioned. There was like a huge. Let's make Trump out to be a supporter of women. Like that was a big thing. That was what McEnany was doing. That's what Laura.
That was
Trump
the theme of that day. It was day 3. Yeah. That was the theme.
The Laura Trump thing is my favorite though. This was the best. This is the most ironic thing I'd ever seen. So Laura Trump, who's married to Eric, she this is what she said. She goes, Abraham Lincoln once famously said, "America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves." Right. So Lincoln never said that. That was a meme that was made up to attack the squad and circulated on the internet last year. So someone like Lincoln's words used it to attack
the same night
got tricked.
Yeah, that speechwriter's fired. The same night the kid in the wheelchair, I forget his name.
Yeah, Madison Cawthorn.
He
said Madison. James Madison. Yeah.
Another incorrect historical
He
fact.
said James Madison signed because he's 25. Madison Cawthorn, the wheelchair guy from North Carolina that's running for Congress. He won the primary. He said, Lincoln ran for president the first time when he was 22. He mentioned something about someone else when they were 20. And he said, my personal favorite, James Madison signed the Declaration of Independence when he was 25. James Madison never signed the Declaration of Independence, I guess. But whoops, whatever. It wasn't. It's not that. Not that big a deal.
Political, historical fact checkers had a huge night.
Yeah, whoops. Many were saying Rick Grinnell was electric, by the way, and it was that it was his second best performance in 2020, of course, distantly behind his Hard Factor interview. But
that's what everybody says.
Great speech, nonetheless.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that interview with Rick Grinnell and Hard Factor, go to the YouTube page and go to Hard Factor's YouTube page, subscribe, and check that out. It was a great interview. Kaylee was good. She's a good speaker, clearly very smart. She talked about pre-existing conditions being covered in healthcare, her kids, wounded military people. She didn't scream like Guilfoyle, but she was loud and confident. I thought Kaylee was she's a good speaker.
She's always put together. Yeah, she's an up and comer, obviously.
She's put
Penn
together.
speech. Let's talk about the Penn speech at Fort McHenry. What did you guys think?
He definitely was playing the hits too. I loved how. I thought it was interesting. Comfortably Smug said something on Twitter during the Penn speech about how everybody, journos were claiming that Haley was coming to take over the party, was going to take his place as the VP candidate this time around, and they knew nothing, and that Pence is well loved by the conservative party, which is very true. I think that. There's a misconception about how Pence is maybe people are embarrassed by Pence in the Republican Party. That could not be further from the truth. I think the mainstream media believes that, but it's not true. I thought his speech was very
Right.
boring, and I think that him and Kamala when they debate,
Kamala.
Kamala.
it's going to be Kamala.
You got to learn how to say it.
Mike Pence and Kamala when they debate. Is going to be one of the most boring fucking things I've ever seen in my life because neither of them are great.
I don't know. I disagree. I think that Pence surprised me. You just had a different perspective of Pence. I was one of those people that's like, this guy's a fucking schlub.
Yeah, most people on the left think that. Most people in the mainstream media.
Yeah.
I'm saying most people in the mainstream media, he's been painted that way by the media that he is some kind of bumbling fool, and he's not.
Right.
Yeah, I think he spoke well for over 30 minutes. And I do think that they will have, I'm interested now in the VP debates with Kamala Harris and him. I will be paying attention. But yeah, he kept the crowd engaged. Two of my favorite parts from that were he got a lot of cheers from the crowd because he did a good job. But there was two times where I'm assuming it was the same person in the crowd tried to start a 4 more years chant and a USA, and it was just him, and it didn't pick up because it wasn't really appropriate to do in that environment. I also liked the environment. I thought it was cool. The
liveness was
it was nice.
So much better than the not live. Yeah.
But then he finally got a 4 more years chant after Pence called for it. He's like, 4 more years. And then the guy's like, yeah, 4 more. And then like half the crowd chanted 4 years. But I loved it when the guy tried to get the chant going and he couldn't. It was funny. But yeah, I thought Pence did pretty good.
I thought a couple takeaways. I couldn't believe that his mom is alive, first of all.
Right. She looked pretty good.
Healthy people. Like there was something about Mike Pence being like, thanks for being here, Mom. That like my jaw hit the ground. I was like, what? What?
Yeah.
I mean, and he calls her mother, by the way.
He said she was only 87, by the way. And
he's 61. Good. So, I mean, it makes sense. I'm just always surprised when old dudes are like, yeah, hey, Mom. I'm like, whoa, that's cool.
Pence is an enigma to the mainstream. And Mark, I wasn't trying to say like you're on the left. What I'm saying is like the media at large, the MSNBCs, the CNNs, the everybody who sort of tends to shade left, they have sort of had this preconceived notion that Pence is just some dummy, and it's just never been the case.
As a consumer of that media, I can tell you that yes, that seems to be the case.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird though. I mean, whatever. Like the Fort McHenry was very strategically chosen. It's interesting for them to go back to like a spot of like the War of 1812, right? Which is like relevant, but not necessarily relevant unless you're a constitutionalist. And then he's
Baltimore.
Yeah, but they were harping on the Star Spangled Banner with Francis Scott Key, wrote there, I guess. But that's also a song that's, exclusionary in the third stanza to a lot of Americans. It talks about slavery in the third stanza. You should check it out if you haven't. So I don't know. That to me was like, cool. I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to like stoke Americanism. But I don't know. I would have chosen something more relevant, I guess.
You'd have chosen something more communist that hated America?
Yeah, probably commie, something communist.
You say
Probably something in L.A. or evil California.
No
that
stars and
supports our entire
stripes.
country
No
with
stars.
their
Get those
Star-Spangled
stars
Banner.
and stripes out of here.
No, I mean, like, look,
You said
Star
slavery
Spangled
was
Banner,
mentioned in the Star Spangled Banner?
It is.
It is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Where?
Slavery is mentioned in the Star
Throw
Spangled
that
Banner.
It was
flag in
written
the
at the
trash.
time. It was written at the time. That's
No, and that's
for
fine,
sure.
and that's fine. But then also, we're seeing a lot of things that were written at the time, which excluded members of our country, and they still feel, excluded.
For sure. All right.
don't think
overall.
whatever.
No, you're fine, Beef. Overall, I'd say the RNC was slightly better production value than the DNC. They didn't try to have as much fun like with the celebrity host. It was more brass tacks and quality production. More like what we just talked about, like American flags and that type of thing. Just like the DNC, it was we are right and you are wrong to the other side. Finger pointing at the other side. And just like the DNC, I thought it was boring. I personally don't get too jazzed up for these things. That's just me.
No, I mean the live crowd gave it some energy, but still, politics in general is the most low energy sport of all time.
Was the Pence a pre-tape or was it live?
Most of it. Well, the Wednesday night was mostly live. It seems.
I think 'cause
question.
that's one thing I did notice too is Pence immediately came out and started talking about Hurricane Laura and not what's going on in Wisconsin. So he addressed one major issue that was happening. But
yeah,
not
it seemed. I mean, it seemed live. It didn't look like there were many cuts at all, and the crowd was there. So I mean, whether it was pre-taped or not, he gave a speech to a live crowd, a pretty large live crowd. So I mean, it was a good speech. I thought. I mean, he surprised me. I think that the VP debates will be good. I think both.
I agree they'll be good. I just think they're going to be boring. I hope you're right and that they're actually exciting, though.
I think they will be. Now, what do you think about Donald Trump? What do you think he said last night? Because we didn't watch.
Yeah,
the
we're recording this right before the Trump.
I think he took some credit for stuff.
Preface it with Nancy Pelosi came out. Sorry, Pat. Nancy Pelosi came out earlier in the day and said that the Democrats have already come down enough and they're not going to budge anymore on the stimulus bill, so that they refuse to budge, and that's teed up for him today, as well as there's stuff going on in Wisconsin and other cities. So what do you think?
She also came out and said that Biden should definitely not debate Trump. Because,
yeah, he's going to go on that. Yeah,
yeah, he's definitely going to touch on that because it would just be foolish to give him the privilege to even debate for the presidency of the United States.
I feel like isn't that like historically there's been presidential debates? Isn't that like precedent?
Oh yeah, it's run by a nonpartisan organization.
Yeah, they're going to do it, but she doesn't think that she should debate.
I'm worried Trump's going to say some divisive shit about the rioting.
I think that. Yeah. Do you guys both expect that, or are you worried that that'll happen?
I expect Donald Trump to say some divisive shit about the protesting.
He's going to say law and order. He's going to say that he's going to spit the same rhetoric that
Well, the media is certainly going to spin it much further in that direction. That's for sure.
He definitely is going to
says.
mention he's the law and order candidate. I hope he goes more of the unity route. I think that's what the country
I hope
needs.
I'm wrong.
I think,
of course,
the country needs a leader right now, especially given what's happening. So I hope he goes more of the unity route. I don't think that he's going to abandon law and order candidate altogether, but hopefully he focuses more on the unity. But we will see.
Big moment for him. It already happened by the time you're listening to this. Hopefully Will's right. We'll see. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, hopefully we have an electric vice president debate and an amazing leadership speech
up until the election.
In the moment we need it. Right.
And a stimulus bill. and
everything's perfect.
And maybe we'll have rainbows shooting out of our cocks. And
gummy bears in Florida.
Yeah, right. You can make edibles in any shape you want.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, hey, we're gonna punt voicemails to next Wednesday, but I'm gonna go through reviews real quick.
Cool.
5-star reviews. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We'll read it on air. Let's do this real quick because we're running along, guys. From Camdy, who's got the smallest dick? Who's got the smallest dick is both the title of the review and the question.
Probably me. I've admitted it's
us,
small.
Or I'm certainly a grower, Will, myself too. Like,
I'm a grower, not a shower. Yeah. I've got enough to make a baby.
Depends on how trimmed I am down there.
Right. It's not me. I know that.
Oh wow. Okay.
Less confident.
Whoa.
Okay. Really? I think the rest of us
Mark
will.
or Will. There you go.
Wow. Okay.
Or Pat. Wait. Pat's silent.
No, I was just saying I wouldn't say what Wes said. That's it's a little bit, that's a big swing with little data.
That's presumptuous. No one's ever called Wes Big Dick Wes. So I don't know what he's talking about.
No, they haven't. But
yeah,
I'm not gonna admit the other way. That's for sure.
All right.
Okay. All right. Next one, guys, from Faux Brown 2296. Go Mavs. Y'all are my favorite podcast. Wouldn't have my mornings any other way. Kenyatta is a clown. Hashtag Beef 2024. And this one's from McGee94.
They want the Beef to take the D ticket.
I'll take it, bro. I'll run. McGee94, keep these guys around Portnoy. Best and only news outlet I listen to. I've been for a year now and wish I started sooner. Everyone I tell loves these guys. I look forward to hearing you guys every day. Hard factor never disappoints. Keep on killing it. HAGFD. Boys, have a great fucking day. Y'all.
You HAGFD.
You HAGFD. Couple quick notes. Big Ounce called in. This won't be relevant next week. Big Ounce called in and said we jumped to a little bit of a conclusion too soon about the Kyle Rittenhouse being a murderer. We'll take a look at that again. Looked at all the videos. And then
Well, yeah, I mean, semantically speaking, whether it's first degree, second degree, whatever, he's a murderer. He murdered multiple people.
I think that what's happening too is that tensions are high right now. And we're trying to do our best to not jump to conclusions and to say shit that's like not correct on air. But the spin cycle is moving fast. The closer we get to the election, the faster it's going to get, the louder everything's going to get, and the more hyped up partisan things will get. And we're going to try to do our best to make sure that we're getting you the accurate facts and not, jumping to a conclusion on a spin cycle. But
right,
and we're going to try to focus on comedy as opposed to soapboxing as well.
We can all agree on that front, guys. We really wish that people weren't dead in Wisconsin in any way, shape, or form. That's going to do it for Hard Factor. Thank you guys so much for listening. Stickers are going out Monday. A lot of us have DM'd asking where you can get them. We had the tweet pinned, but I guess Bubba doesn't listen to it, so he unpinned the tweet to pin a video tweet, Bubba. So
he's got lots of videos. So
I know
he's got to pin his videos.
Some of you guys don't have Twitter.
We'll pin it back up there.
DM us, but check our Twitter. Even if you don't have Twitter, you can find the link for the form to fill out for stickers. They're going out Monday. So we will repin that now and have a great fucking weekend.